Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to do so. It really means the world to me. So I recently filmed a video, I'm going to link it up here for you, in which I talked about the luxury trends that are going to be coming up or continuing into 2025. And one of the trends I talked about in that video was the trend for individuality. And within that, I specifically focused on things like back charms, for example. And I actually said that perhaps such trends as wearing a lot of back charms really are the type of trends that we have because we are able to buy entry level, cheaper luxury designer items to be able to participate in the trend. And then, of course, after I filmed the video, or even as I was filming and editing the video, I started looking at the websites of some luxury designers, such as, I don't know, Prada, Miu Miu, Fendi, Louis Vuitton. And it increasingly dawned on me that all of those bag charms are really not that cheap, even in terms of designer prices. What I'm really trying to say is that when I looked at a lot of those bag charms, they were not entry level items at all in terms of the price. But however, in terms of what they offer, they do seem to be quite, well, let's say, insignificant. So I really started thinking to myself, and I started thinking to myself whether this back charm trend is really a scam of some sorts. I cannot think of any better word, really. Like, I remember when we saw, let's say, the Prada tank tops. I'm going to put a picture on the screen that were really popular maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So when those came out, and they came out at a cost of about $990 or something like this, so let's say $1,000, all of us were like, oh my God, this is so expensive. There is no way we are paying $1,000 for a Prada tank top. But at least you're getting a piece of clothing. It is a tank top. And when I started looking at a lot of these bag charms, a lot of them actually cost up to or even more than 1,000 US dollars. And you're not really getting anything except for a piece of an accessory that doesn't even function by itself. The only thing you can actually do with that accessory is hang it onto something like a handbag. So I really wanted to film a separate video kind of discussing some of the prices that are associated with bag charms and this overall trend. I also want to offer some alternatives because I understand that many of us would want to participate in this trend. It might seem cute and fun, but it shouldn't really cost that much money. And to be honest, when I look at a lot of pictures that I see online, on Instagram, etc., it really seems like a lot of those designer bags have anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000 or even 4,000 US dollars worth of bag charms hanging off of them. And if I think about an investment of a couple of $1,000s, I really feel that for that amount of money, you can actually buy a piece of fine jewelry, or you can buy a full-fledged designer handbag that's going to be made out of leather, and that would last you so much longer than a bag charm. What I really do not want to happen is for us wake up, let's say a year from now, realize that the bag charm trend is completely dead, and now we basically have a lot of this junk. I cannot think of a better word. I mean, cute junk, but still junk that is just kind of, laying around the house. And by the way, I do not want to be completely negative in this video either. I mean, I actually pulled this out of my closet. As you can see, I also want to participate in the bag charm trend. I actually unboxed this banana bag charm from Fendi, I think back in September. I'm also going to link that video up here for you. And I'm basically using it as a bag charm on my Fendi baguette. And you can see that I also took one of my Fendi scrunchies for the hair, and I also attached it to my bag right here to just kind of participate in this trend a little bit more. Now, I realize that this particular iteration of the trend doesn't look like the type of stuff that you see on pictures or a lot of social media. Maybe you can tell that I'm a little bit OCD, and it's actually very difficult for me to use mismatching items and put them on my bag. So I prefer to kind of keep the maybe color scheme a little bit monochrome, right? Or a little bit consistent. But anyway, this is my starting point, and I might do a couple of other things as well. So, what I'm trying to say is that I really do not want to hate on this trend. I just want to be a little bit more realistic, kind of look at some prices out there when it comes to the back charms. And by the way, I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I think it was upwards of 600 US dollars. So, I wanted to reconsider some of those things and then also offer some alternatives. And obviously, by the way, if you have a ton of money that you can spend in any way that you want, I'm sure that $3,000 or $4,000 spent on back charms is not a consideration. But if you're like most of us, when you're trying to be savvy and strategic about the type of luxury purchases that you make, then hopefully you're going to find this video useful. In any case, what I want to do now is actually grab my computer and maybe show you some of the options for back charms that exist online, going through, some most kind of expensive iterations, because I was shocked by some of the prices that I saw, and then maybe looking at a couple of, let's say, average priced alternatives. And after this, I want to offer even more alternatives that I think are much more budget friendly and maybe much more suitable for such a fleeting trend like this. Because I think that bringing individuality to your handbag really should not cost thousands of dollars. And by the way, when I talk about the trend of individuality and using all of these bag charms on the handbags, it almost seems to me that it is actually more fitting to use, I don't know, handmade stuff, maybe your jewelry, maybe some kind of memorabilia to display things on your handbag that are unique to you, as opposed to things for which all of us can pay like thousands of dollars and put them on our, I don't know, Fendi baguettes, Birkins, Kellys, or any other handbags. And by the way, my name is Lisa, and I'm your guide to savvy luxury shopping no matter where in the world you are. Subscribe to my channel to learn more about strategic luxury shopping with the emphasis on quality and timelessness of your items. All right. So one of the brands that is sort of like the most popular or the most well known, maybe, when it comes to bag charms, I think is Louis Vuitton. I think they were doing a lot of different bag charms and key rings, key holders, etc. You know, prior to the current trend. So I figured let's start with Louis Vuitton and let's look at what Louis Vuitton actually has to offer. So one of the first back charms I obviously notice is my Vivian back charm. So this is basically a small plush toy that is in the shape of Vivian, which is the brand's mascot. And when I look at the size of this toy, you can see it on the handbag there, it's really quite sizable, right? It's not a small toy. I'm not sure whether it is safe to give it to a child, because it would have all of those small, little, tiny components. But anyway, it is a sizable bag charm that will be noticed. But it comes at a price of 950 US dollars. Once again, going back to, for example, that Prada tank top or something like this, at least for about 950 US dollars, you could actually buy a piece of clothing that you would wear, and it would be like literally a part of your outfit. Here, you're getting something that cannot function by itself unless you attach it to something like a handbag. For $950, you can also get a very nice pair of designer shoes that will once again be a substantial part of your outfit, and you could wear them for many more seasons, right? And this back charm trend, I'm sure, is going to really die off in just a couple of years or a couple of seasons maximum. Anyway, 950 US dollars is actually really not that bad for Louis Vuitton, because I want to show you some of the other options as well. Here's another Vivian option, but in this case, instead of getting a simple Vivian plush toy, you are actually getting a Vivian fashionista plush toy charm. And just because this Vivian plush toy charm is actually dressed up and is wearing sunglasses, which is extremely cute, I'm not going to deny that, but this bag charm comes at a cost of 1,300 US dollars. And for this type of money, you can basically buy an entire handbag. Maybe not from Louis Vuitton, but from other brands for sure. And once again, when we look at these bag charms, it almost seems that the trend is to have not just one bag charm hanging off your bag, but anywhere between, I don't know, 3 to 5 bag charms. So you could easily be spending thousands and thousands of dollars decorating your bag. And when the trend is over, you're basically left with a bunch of different charms that cannot even be really repurposed as anything else. Maybe Christmas tree decoration, but that's about it. All right, looking a little bit more at Louis Vuitton. So some of the most expensive bag charms that I actually found are from Louis Vuitton, and I'm going to show you the two of them. Now, in all fairness, these particular models could actually be used as a separate micro bag. So in that sense, they probably have, or they do have, a little bit more versatility. But I still wanted to just point out the size of these things as compared to the price that they are. So for example, here we have a micro Dauphine pearls bag. I actually cannot see the exact dimensions of this micro bag, but whatever they are, this is not a large micro bag. You could probably fit like a lip gloss and a credit card in there, and it is retailing for 1,850 US dollars. Again, for this money, you could actually get like a full-on bag, which would be, I think, so much more usable. And then another micro bag that I found in this section of different charms is this one right here, micro canes bag, retailing for 1,730 US dollars. Again, could you fit something in here? I think so. Is it somewhat versatile in a sense that you could use it as a charm, but also as a separate micro bag? Okay, it is. But at that price, the price of almost 2,000 US dollars or 1,730 US dollars, I do not know. I think there's still kind of better ways to spend money, at least in my opinion. All right, let's go back and look at a couple more things from Louis Vuitton. So, I showed a couple of micro bags that are really quite expensive, but maybe let's be a little bit more realistic. Let's look at tiny little bags that could be only used as a charm. I think one of the most affordable options in this department is this Speedy Monogram bag charm, which is retailing for 815 US dollars. So obviously less than the previous couple of options that I showed, but this one has no versatility whatsoever. So you will be paying 815 US dollars to just hang this tiny micro Speedy onto another handbag of yours. And other than that, this tiny micro Speedy has really no usage whatsoever. And again, when this trend is over, my question is, how would we actually repurpose this bag charm? I'm not really sure. And another item I want to show from Louis Vuitton is this My Flower bag chain. So obviously together with these different charms, I have also seen a lot of bags that have a bag chain attached to them, kind of connecting two ends of the handle. And it also looks all very nice and cute together with the bag charms. So let's say you want to buy a bag chain from Louis Vuitton, and there is this version. Yeah, looks nice. My Flower bag chain, and it costs over 1,000 US dollars. Once again, if you want a chain like this, I'm sure there are so many other places where you can get a much, much, much cheaper option. It also looks like something you could repurpose. Like maybe you could take your costume jewelry and like an old bracelet from your costume jewelry, even something like this from Vivienne Westwood that I'm wearing right here, and you can hang that on your handbag. And it would pretty much look the same. And trust me, this bracelet from Vivienne Westwood is probably 1/3 of this price. Anyway, let's look at some other brands. Let's look at Miu Miu, for example. So this is the brand that I kind of learned to respect. I did buy a couple of things from Miu Miu recently in September, And I was happy with the quality, with the design, with the aesthetic of the brand. And obviously, Miu Miu is such a hot brand right now. It's trending. So I constantly feel like there is something else that I want to buy from them. So I started looking at their bag charms. Obviously, a lot of their handbags with their bag charms are also trending. We see that on social media. So it looks really appealing. And I honestly think that I found the most expensive bag charm out there, and it is from Miu Miu. Let me find it. Okay, there we go. This is this leather trick bag charm. So this one costs 1,550 US dollars. Now, I showed some options from Louis Vuitton that were more expensive, but they could actually function as a separate micro bag. This one right here does not have a shoulder strap, does not have like a crossbody strap. So basically, this tiny little handbag looks like something you would be able to use only as a bag charm. And you don't even have a zipper. So I think there is no way to actually like close this tiny little micro bag in case you wanted to put something inside it. So this is a bag charm only. And okay, this is how it would look on your handbag. Is it cute? Yes, but it comes at a price point of 1,550 US dollars. So a very similar price point to a price point of like, a decent designer handbag. So let's see what else can we actually get from Miu Miu. So this one right here, let me see if I can find it. There was something that really surprised me. Okay, you have a cord trick, I guess a cord back charm, which basically comes with a little key with Miu Miu engraved on it, and then like a piece of cord. Let's say product details. It is 15 centimeters long, the cord. So we can see it on the picture right here. Okay, right there. So nice, a cord and a key. And this comes at a price point of 440 US dollars. I mean, there's not much ingenuity in the design here. So I'm not sure what 440 US dollars is for, because a cord in my books definitely doesn't cost 440 US dollars. But this is not it, really. Another kind of similar idea we have is this back charm. So similar to that chain that I showed from Louis Vuitton, this is perhaps something that you would use on your bag, kind of, connecting two sides of the handle. So this is leather, cord, and metal trick, or back charm. So nice, we're getting a piece of leather with this, but it comes at a price of 675 US dollars. But to me, this looks like something your child could actually make at school and, bring it to you as a gift. This is just a bit of cord, a bit of metal, a bit of leather, and a Miu Miu logo. All right, let's move on, and I want to show you a couple of options from Prada. So Prada also has quite a few different bag charms on offer, and the ones that really caught my attention are these soft robot bag charms. So in all honesty, if we look at product details, this robot has a removable shoulder strap. So it means it could double up as a bag charm, but also like a separate micro bag, even though I'm not really sure what you'd be able to actually carry inside of this robot. And this robot comes at a price point of 1,270 US dollars. Again, this is the price of a full-on handbag. Potentially a small handbag, probably not from a brand like Prada, but you could buy an entire functional handbag for this type of money. And if you don't want to spend this money on a handbag, there are so many other luxury items. As I mentioned before, it's a pair of shoes or that Prada tank top, or even a piece of fine jewelry. So for like 1,300 US dollars, I believe, I'm going to put a picture on the screen, but you could find a Tiffany T wire ring that is like yellow gold. So an actual piece of fine jewelry from Tiffany, yeah, would cost you just $30 more than this tiny little robot from Prada. There is another example from Prada that I want to show you, and I found that one a little bit, let's say, unpleasantly surprising, because it is similar than the option from Miu Miu, but more expensive and, potentially worse. So you have the pop strings back charm from Prada right here. Comes at a price point of 875 US dollars. And if we look at product details and if we look at materials, it is all polyester. So you are paying 875 US dollars for basically a bit of metal and polyester. Once again, something that you could probably do as a DIY project or something that your kid could make at a kindergarten or at school or something that just should not cost 875 US dollars because this is just some probably really cheap metal and a little bit of polyester. All right, again, to just kind of reiterate my point, what I'm trying to say is that this seemingly innocent bag charm trend can really lead to such high expenditures because all of those items that I just showed you, they are not coming with small price tags at all. In fact, many of them retail over 1000 US dollars. So I think it is important to be realistic when it comes to spending our money on luxury and perhaps, be a little bit more strategic with our expenditures. All right, so at the beginning of the video, I also promised to offer some solutions. What if you actually want to participate in the trend like I do, but you do not want to be spending like literally thousands of dollars on all of these bag charms? What are some of the alternatives? Well, we could always look at some kind of mid-range designer brands for alternatives that are similarly cute but do not cost thousands of dollars. So some brands that come to mind are Marc Jacobs, Coach, also Stella McCartney. I'm going to show a couple of options on the screen, but from Marc Jacobs, you could get this micro, nano, whatever, Marc Jacobs tote bags that actually look really cute, but cost only what 125 US dollars. I don't remember exactly, but I will put the price up on the screen. And again, for something that might be just a very fleeting trend, I think it is much better to pay 125 US dollars for a micro nano bag as opposed to 1,500 US dollars. So Stella McCartney used to be a favorite brand of mine when I used to be vegan, and I still wear quite a few different things from Stella McCartney, and I have my share of the Falabella bags as well. And now you could actually buy a small Falabella bag charms also, and they retail at 375 US dollars, I think, from memory. Again, this is not leather that you're getting because Stella McCartney is a completely vegan brand, but you are getting something that is, a little bit sizable when it comes to the size of it. And on the website, it actually says that you could use these bag charms, for AirPods. So another mid-level brand I would consider is Coach. And I looked at their website and they actually have quite a few different bag charms on sale right now. And I really like talking about sales on my channel because honestly, when it comes to such a fleeting trend as bag charms, would you rather just get something on sale and then if you end up not using it a year from now, you're not going to be heartbroken, or would you rather buy like I don't know a robot from Prada for over 1000 US dollars? So anyway, Coach, check out their sales. I found some bag charms on there made from leather for about 23 US dollars from memory. I will put some pictures on the screen right here. I also found this bag charm in the shape of a cherry. I actually think I've seen this one online quite a bit. It looks so cute and so yummy, and it costs under 100 US dollars, which, in comparison to what we just talked about, is really not that much money. So yeah, I think for a trend like this, kind of looking at Coach, at Marc Jacobs, at some of those mid-range brands is really a good idea. So the second solution I have for you is to just go ahead and repurpose something that you already have. So I talk about twillies a lot on this channel because I think they are a great accessory. They are so versatile. You can use them to protect the handles of your handbag, but you could also use them in so many other ways. So I would almost just buy maybe an extra twilly that is much more versatile in nature, and then maybe, tie it as a bow on your handbag. I also just showed you my handbag right here from Fendi, and I basically took one of my Fendi hair scrunches and I put it on one side of the handle on this Fendi baguette. Again, it looks maybe very matchy-matchy, but this is something that you can do without necessarily buying something completely new, something that is like a designated bag charm. I would also suggest that you could maybe look at the drawer of the costume jewelry stuff that you have maybe from your favorite designer brands or maybe your old costume jewelry that you do not wear at all anymore. And I think you could repurpose some earrings or bracelets, like even the one that I'm wearing right now, as a potential back charm if you decide to do so. And perhaps you have a lot of damaged costume jewelry from different brands, because we know that it doesn't last for a very long time, unfortunately. And this is also something that you can do to prolong the life of your damaged costume jewelry. Just use those pieces as back charms. Another idea I had, and I think this one would require a little bit more ingenuity, but you could look at buying small pouches or like very small wallets and actually attaching them to your handbag on the outside, using them as a back charm. And honestly, a lot of those pouches and small wallets from different brands, including like Maison Margiela, one of my favorite brands, they are much cheaper than like a back charm. So I might as well maybe just kind of buy a wallet, attach it to my handbag in a creative way, perhaps buying something from like Etsy or Amazon, like a small chain that would help you make the attachment. And then when the trend is over, I could use that wallet as a wallet. Or maybe perhaps buy like a small pouch for change and then actually use it as a small pouch for change. I think you could also repurpose, perhaps AirPods holders as back charms as well. I actually found a couple of versions from Bottega that are on sale right now at Farfetch, and their sale price is once again much more agreeable than, for example, the price of some of the back charms. And Bottega also has a really nice quality leather, so I feel like this is something that would last. Anyway, the point here is that maybe you could look at something that you have and repurpose it as a back charm, or even if you decide to buy something, you could actually buy like a standalone item, like a small wallet or a pouch, and use it as a back charm for the time being. Again, everything that I showed in this video today, I'm going to link in the description box down below in case you want to see some of those prices, or in case you actually like some of the alternatives that I have suggested. So once again, I do not want to hate on this trend of using back charms. I just think we should be realistic and perhaps avoid spending upwards of 1,000 or 2,000 US dollars on all of this stuff that ultimately will just, go out of style in a couple of seasons. And I hope I also managed to offer some alternatives that could satisfy this urge to participate in a trend, but at the same time would not break the bank. And again, the reason I'm filming this video is because I sort of was initially thinking that back charms could be such a great entryway into, buying things from a particular designer luxury brand. But again, when I saw some of those prices, I really do not think that back charms are a great entryway item. So let me know in the comments down below, are you participating in this back charm trend? And if yes, are you actually buying some of those expensive back charms that I showed earlier, or are you trying to find different alternatives? And before you go, watch this video next. So in this video, I'm talking about some of the main luxury trends that we are likely to see in 2025. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Take care and bye-bye.